still. And so I'm going to start out because I want to save some time. I'm going to start out with the individual introductions, and I'm going to go to the food line and start there, and then work myself back over here. But thank you for being here. And while I'm thinking about it, let me invite you to our March 1st installation, which is the biggest event of the year for us. So I hope to see you all there March 1st at the Larry Chimboli Cultural Center, which, by the way, we have Mr. Larry Chimboli here today. Give him a big hand, folks. So let me start out over here with Dusty.
Hello, I'm Dusty Patterson, Executive Chef for LeVay's Fine Cuisine. And I'm also offering a holiday Valentine's special, dinner for two, catered, delivered to your home with a bottle of champagne and tablecloths, Cristo, and everything you need for a nice Valentine's Day for two at your house. We have a menu outside in the front.
All right.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Ledford, Mayor of the City of Palmdale. I wanted to, well, actually, the reason I'm here today is I'm here to listen to Dave Childs has an announcement about our Legacy Commons Senior Center. I'm here to hear what that is. So now you know.
I'm Joyce Ricks, an American family therapist.
Eli Colvin, Digitech, the only authorized ADT dealer in the Antelope Valley, and we're looking for salespeople.
Roberto Garcia from Pig Lane Centers. I'm a social worker.
Make sure you talk right into the mic so they can hear you.
Hi, I'm Sylvia Duarte from Penny Lane and also past president of the Hispanic Chamber.
There you go. Leslie.
Leslie Champion, AV Hispanic Chamber Director, and also Business Development for Indura West Coast Institute and Corporate, established here in Palmdale. Thank you.
Brandon McNulty, Michael Antonovich.
Well, the double, order fries and a
I'm going to double supersize that?
Oh, I supersized it. And Jay with the Antelope Valley Boys and Girls Club.
Bruce Nahero, paralegal and enthusiast. Patty Walsifer with Source One Payroll Service.
I'm Vince Fong with Congressman McKeon McCarthy.
Cody Irvin, I think I got the wrong line.
No. I'm the Time Warner Cable, Channel 3 News, here to spread the word, what everybody has to say.
Sandy Corrales Enix. I'm a field rep for Assemblyman Steve Fox and a past president of this fine chamber and Palmdale School Board president.
Jay Kern with the Antelope Valley Press, avpress.com, Lifestyle Magazine, AV Press Express. We're launching a brand new glossy real estate magazine coming out on March 3rd. Look for it.
I'm launching one on March 1st.
Scott Cummings, your chairman for the 41st Outlook Conference that's happening on the 22nd at the AV Fairgrounds. Make sure you get your ticket, call the AV Board of Trade, or see Vicki here and she'll sell you a ticket. It's going to be a great impact and a great lineup for you this year.
And this is what happens when you go skateboarding.
Trisha Granger with the Antelope Valley Mall.
Hi, I'm Steve Benson with AVNewsCast and News Talk Radio 1380. And I just want to make this announcement. We're doing something kind of neat today. We're streaming this, but you can also watch the luncheon on your smartphone. So if you can't make it to a luncheon, you can watch it on your computer, but you can also watch it on your phone.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here, Steve. All right.
Alma Ochoa. Shakti Corporation, and I'm a director and in charge of the mixers. So new members and people that would like to join us, please sign up and let us be at your business. And I have Blanca and Julio as my yes.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Kimberly Perkins with First City Credit Union, Business Development Officer for the Antelope Valley, and your financial literacy trainer.
Hello, Tom Kessler with Kessler Dairyberry, and I have my wife Mary with me today. We enjoy this very much.
So you're Tom Kessler. I've heard so much about you. Sir? Are you a guest? Okay. Thank you and welcome. Go here. Mr. Superintendent, leave your phone alone.
Let's try to watch the luncheon.
There you go.
Roger Galizzi, Superintendent of Schools, Palmdale School District.
Good afternoon. My name is Joe Cooper. I work for Antelope Valley Bank, California Bank and Trust in Lancaster. Hi, Carol Stanford. I'm on the Board of Trustees for Palmdale School District.
Hi everyone, I'm Lilia Case from Century 21 by Anderson and Associates.
Hi guys, I'm Brandy Wheeler, Director of Marketing for ProCare Hospice and Board Member for Antelope Valley Committee on Aging.
Hello, Dean Henderson, President of Financial Independence Mortgage.
Hello, everyone. Vera Loa, Richard's secretary. Loa.
Richard Loa, Office of Richard Loa, and we are bringing in a new member of the community, an attorney, also a graduate of UCLA Law School and UCLA undergrad. Go Bruins! And this is Pablo Robert Escobar.
And you're also my vice president.
Oh. I'm Vice President of the Antelope Valley Hispanic Chamber.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Pleasure to meet everyone.
Nice to meet you and welcome. Okay.
And Johnson, Associate Supervisor with Medical Response.
Man, you gotta scream it out. AMR's here.
Hi, I'm Hannah Lopez with American Medical Response. I'm an EMT there. Also want to let you guys know, February 27th, we will be having a blood drive at our station from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. All the blood that we collect stays local. And if you show up and donate, you'll receive a Cold Stone Creamery coupon and 2 tickets to the Grammy Museum. So please come on by. We're going to be doing this every 3 months. So we'll be having these flyers out. I have some out in the lobby for you guys.
Hi, Pamela Griffin, Business Banking Portfolio Manager for Antelope Valley Bank.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Hernando Marroquin. I'm with McDonald's Restaurants and the Power Center Car Wash in Lancaster.
Super size.
Good afternoon, Lisa Moulton with Senator Steve Fox's office.
Candidate this term for Congressman McKeon.
Morris Thomas, District Director for Congressman McKeon.
John Dorsch, Retired Manager for the LA County Assessor's Office.
Norm Hickley, Barber for Morris, and Deputy Co Supervisor Antonovich.
Hi, I'm Rocio, Immediate Past President. This is so exciting, our first luncheon of the year, and I welcome you all, and the food is amazing, so please enjoy.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Peppy East with Celebrating Home, and I am also your incoming secretary this year, so be sure to mark March 1st, Friday night, on your calendar for our installation.
Suzette Martinez, Los Angeles Universal Preschool, also known as Alea.
Gloria Mercado, 4-time. I'm a board of directors for the Santa Clarita Valley Latino Chamber, also board trustees for the William Hart Union High School District, and CEO for Global Education Solutions.
She comes all the way from Santa Clarita every month to see us. We love you.
Hello everybody, buenas tardes a todos. I'm Rodrigo Venegas. I'm a realtor and I'm director for the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Welcome.
Vicki Medina with the Antelope Valley Board of Trade, and I'll see you in 17 days at the 41st Business Outlook Conference. And if you don't have your ticket, come see me.
All right.
Angela Underwood Jacobs, Senior Vice President of Antelope Valley Bank.
Jason Manning, Business Development Officer for Antelope Valley Bank.
Velma Searcy, President of Arrowwire Technical Services. I just got elected to be on the board of directors.
Our newest board member. Give her a big hand.
Sandy Nevin, Center for Grants and Contracts and Business Artifacts. I'm a grant writer.
Brand new member too. Yeah, welcome.
I'm Corbin A. Brown, the founder and executive director for the Center for Grants and Contracts Business Artifacts.
Welcome to our chamber.
Thank you very much.
You don't have to get up, Larry. Yes, I do. Okay, get up, Larry.
My name is Dave Enix.
Oh, boy.
I'm here with the Woman of the Year.
Gracias. Hello, everybody. I'm Shawnee Barcelona, and Isaac's my husband. I work at Century 21, and I specialize in property management. So if you want to rent out one of your houses, or you know someone who needs to rent, please call me. Thank you.
What else? You're on the fair board.
I'm on the fair board. And this year's theme is...
I forgot.
Something with
I forgot. Diamonds are fair ever. Thank you. Whoops.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Rosendo Romelí, and I own Hacienda Nabucco Mexican Restaurant. Let's see.
Don Cuco, this is where we're going to be for happy hour today. If anybody wants to join us.
Good afternoon. My name is Helen Mayo, also known as Nina, small business owner of 24 years in the Antelope Valley.
Good afternoon, everybody. Senator Steve Knight. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm Joe Mayo. Deer Valley Properties. Wow. New Vice President of AVRAD.
Good afternoon. I'm Dave Childs, your Palmdale City Manager, and apparently I have an announcement to make that I was going to make tomorrow night at the council meeting. And here's what happens. If you tell the mayor like a day or two ahead, he blabs. And so here we are. Legacy Commons has been, because of cutbacks, has been open till noon or 1 o'clock every day. The senior citizens have not been happy, and we have found a way to get that open for the rest of the day, and found the funds. They don't know it yet, so don't tell them. We're going to go down and kind of surprise them on Thursday and let them know. But yeah, I know. Whatever. But it's really great news.
Good afternoon. My name is Tom Berard. I'm the Director of Business Development for Colsa Corporation in the Valley. And formerly what? I was formerly the Executive Director out at Edwards. And one of the few people I know that had his own coin.
Okay, and I think I missed Laura back here, or who did I miss? Laura.
Hi, Donna Gibbons from the Antelope Valley Press. I handle all the dining and entertainment in the Antelope Valley.
Hello everybody, my name is Ophelia, I work for the Valley Press. This publication is coming out. It's the place where everybody of you guys has to be business people. It's for February 23rd.
Thank you. And one of our favorite people just showed up, Mr. Ray Santana. Give him a big hand. All right. So let me get this program. Oh, done.
I have in my hand a $20 bill and a $5 bill. Where'd you find it? I'm going to give it to somebody at the end of the day. If you're going to the Business Outlook Conference, if you got a web-enabled phone right now, just go www.businessautlookconference.com and buy your ticket. If you can show me that you bought your ticket while you're here today, because you have the ability to print it, we'll put you in a drawing for that $25. Either AVDOT Business Outlook Conference or Business Outlook Conference. Thank you very much. Get your tickets right now.
All right.
These guys are rocking tears over here. You didn't announce the scale.
I didn't announce the scale. Why not?
They're sad. I don't know why.
They're sad. Okay, Adam, you start since you're crying.
You okay?
I need a minute.
You need a minute?
Good afternoon. My name is Adam Evantov, Community Liaison with First Solar, a solar power plant developer.
First Solar, and they're one of our best, friends of the chamber, so I'd like to say that about First Solar.
Hi, I'm Randy Bass. I'm account executive for Tide, the best plush animal company in the world.
I already did.
I am Angelina Urquhart. I'm from AVNewsCast, 1380 AM, and I am the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Oh, we need that.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes. My name is Maria Trejo. I'm Vice President of Education with Learn for Life Charter Concept Schools. We here locally, we have Desert Sands. I think most of you probably have heard of Desert Sands Public Charter, and we're providing personalized options, educational options for students. Thank you.
Thank you. Raise your hands if I missed you. Okay. Verna!
You can do it.
of our dear friends. Okay.
And Rotarian people. That's right.
Hi, I'm Laura Jimenez, Regional Manager of First City Credit Union. We have 2 branches here in the Valley, Palmdale and Lancaster. And we just celebrated our 75th anniversary last year. So come and join us.
And we also have last year's Business of the Year Award winner, Mr. Angelo Campano, attorney at law. Okay. Give yourselves a big hand, all of you. That was a big hand? Okay. All right, let me start by introducing one of our panelists, and we have 6 of them today. So coming all the way from Bakersfield, representing Congressman Kevin McCarthy. How about a big hand for Vince Fong? Take a seat, probably, whatever you want to seat. And from Congressman Buck McKeon's office, we have Morris Thomas, his district director, and J.D. Kennedy. From my boss, Senator Steve Knight's office, my colleague, Lisa Moulton. From Assemblyman Steve Fox office, we have Sandy Corrales-Enix, also known as Mrs. Larry Chimoli. And last but not least, the barber himself, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Norm Heckling, representing Supervisor Michael Antonovich. This is your panel for today, and the way we're going to do this, we're going to start out with a couple of minutes each, giving you an update on what their bosses are doing, and after that, we're going to do another couple of minutes each, giving you a summary of what services district offices offer to the constituency. That would be you. So we're going to start out with Mr. Vince Fong. You want to do the pledge? Let's do the pledge. Everybody stand up, please. Put your hand over your heart. Face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, Vince, you're on.
Well, all right. Well, I'll stand for a little bit, and then I'll pass the mic. But for those who don't know me, I'm Vince Fong. I'm the district director for Congressman Kevin McCarthy. Certainly, the big topic right now, and as it continues to be, is the economy, and obviously our debt and deficit that the federal government is accumulating, and that's something that needs to be addressed immediately. So, when we talk trillions, it's kind of hard to kind of wrap your hands around it. So, kind of a simple way to kind of explain the magnitude of our debt problem is if you look at just as the United States as a household, we spend 2.5 trillion. Actually, our budget's about we spend 3.8 trillion, and then we bring in about 2.5. So if you eliminate the zeros, we borrow. Let's see, we bring our salary is about $25,000. We spend $35,000, and we need to borrow the rest. But the problem is that we have a $6 trillion debt right now, so we have $160,000 on the credit card. And that's the magnitude of our debt. And so when we're looking for cuts, we obviously need to find ways to cut spending, but we also need to grow our economy as well. And obviously, all you as small business owners, we all know the challenges of owning a business and operating right now in the current business climate. And so we can cut spending immediately, but at the end of the day, we still have to grow the economy as well. We're not even calculating the interest payments on the debt that currently would go to more productive things in the economy, but right now it's going to something that we're borrowing to do. And if we look at just the amount of borrowing that we're currently incurring, and we're borrowing it from other countries, like especially China, we need to take action now. And so that's the thing that we're working on, and that's kind of our top priority at the moment. Moving forward, we have sequestration occurring. We're trying to find ways to avoid those cuts. We're asking the administration to propose a realistic plan of spending cuts that will replace the cuts that would be occurring. But for some reason today, the current administration is looking for more tax increases, which doesn't help small business owners like yourselves, especially in California, where most of you guys are probably paying 60-70% taxes if you include local, state, federal. And so and obviously we're here to kind of listen to your concerns as well, just to hear your everyday challenges. Now, Kevin started as a deli owner when he was 19, sold it to pay his way through college, so we obviously value and understand the importance of entrepreneurship. And so I'll stop there, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Morris Thomas, I'm the District Director for Congressman McKeon. Vince has pretty much set the stage. Excuse me, I have a little lettuce in my throat here. Oh, that was good. Vince has set the stage for what we are faced. Congressman McKeon works very closely with Congressman McCarthy. Congressman McKeon is also chairman of the Armed Services Committee, so his concerns, as well as Congressman McCarthy's, go even further with being concerned about our debt. As Vince made it clear, we spend $1 trillion more than we bring in. So, as he said, just compare that to your households and you'll see where that leaves us. Some of the specific issues that we're dealing with right now, of course, in regards to a legislative update, we just fostered and managed to get through the No Budget, No Pay Act, which has now gone through. The president has graciously signed, which basically says if they don't come up with a budget in the houses, our congressional representatives won't get paid. So now we're assured of at least having a budget, because we know they're not going without pay. Some of the things that, specifics that we're dealing with, clearly, is we just moved the debt ceiling down the road. We can address that a little bit later. We have sequestration that's coming up. Serious issue, especially for this congressional district. We represent the 25th Congressional District, and we are a aerospace defense district, as well as all of the other social cuts that we would face in the event that sequestration takes place. There's no disagreement that some cuts have to be made, but we think sequestration is not a rational way to make these cuts, and that it does not adequately provide for our men and women in the services, nor does it adequately provide for the common defense, which Congress is charged with being responsible for. In addition to that, we have the continuing resolution, which is the way we're currently funding the government, how we're running our business right now. That issue is also on the table and looms heavily. It does appear that we're starting to get some things done. There seems to be some understanding that this debt has to be brought under control. There seems to be some efforts to work on this in a bipartisan way, and we sincerely hope that the Senate and the executive branch puts forth some budgets that are rational and reasonable that we can work with. Some of the other issues, as you know, that are down the line and coming at us very heavily, which was probably not anticipated immediately, are gun control and immigration. These are serious issues and serious concerns for all of us, and once again, we hope some bipartisan resolution can be formed to address those concerns. Thank you.
Good afternoon. J.D. Kennedy from Congressman McKeon's office. I think Vince and Morris each covered the policy and legislation. I'm here to talk about a few of the constituent services that both our offices offer.
Second part, so we'll come back to that.
Oh, we're going to come back to that.
Good afternoon. I'm Lisa Moulton with Senator Steve Knight's office. It's a pleasure to be here today. Just a few things to bring you up to date as to what Senator Knight is doing. They just started just in the beginning of January. He is going to be working heavily with aerospace this year, keeping aerospace here, giving some incentives to keep aerospace businesses here. Income tax credit for hiring California graduates, which is great for all of our students that are graduating here, and encouraging teachers to pursue STEM subjects to teach by granting 10% credit for tuition paid. So that's great too. Another thing that he's really concerned about is keeping our students safe while they're in the schools. And he's going to be dealing with serious or violent felony convictions on people that have post-community supervision from keeping them from volunteering in the classrooms. Veterans bill, granting in-state tuition for veterans up to 2 years after dismissal from the military. This is veterans in all states, not just the ones they are stationed in. Also, keeping parents empowered with the governor's new accountability standards. Let's see, what else? keeping money in the classrooms, making sure every child is benefiting from the new revenue. And I don't know if you saw it, but in today's paper, he was given 100% from the National Federation of Independent Businesses in his voting record. So business is important also to Senator Knight, and he is going to be doing everything he can to keep the businesses here in California. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Sandy Corrales, Enix, and I serve as a field rep for Assemblymember Steve Fox. You should know that since he was sworn in on December 3rd, he has been so very warmly received up in Sacramento. The Assembly member is a member of the majority party, and he has made very fast friends with the Speaker of the Assembly, John Perez, who has been very attentive to the needs of the 36th Assembly District. Antelope Valley issues are right at the tip of his finger, and I think that's important. You should know that the Assembly member received 3 key committee assignments here in the last few weeks. So he serves on the Veterans Affairs Committee, on the Higher Education Committee, and then this is a long one, Jobs, Economic Development, and the Economy. He ran and won on a platform of jobs and education. So figure those 2 components to, well, they will be featured prominently in the legislation that he will introduce. You probably saw an article on the press, and I brought a press release copy, that has to do with the Assembly member introducing a resolution to designate California as a drone testing site. Jobs, again, very important to the Assembly member. And also the fact that drones are used for so many different things. People think, oh, it's an eye in the sky or it's spying. But in terms of research and emergency, disaster preparedness, I mean, there's so many other things that can bring jobs to this area. The Assembly member has until later this month to introduce legislation, so I am not at liberty to share any more than what I have right now, but just know that those 3 key committee assignments and the fact that the Speaker also chose Assembly member Fox to serve as chairman of the Select Committee on Community Colleges is going to be very important here for the Antelope Valley. I will also share with you that you already know that the Assembly member won by only 145 votes, a little bit of a dramatic victory, and I want to give a little shout out, kudos here to the last Democrat to represent this area, Mr. Larry Chimboli, the Assembly. Well deserved, Mr. Chimboli. But the Assembly member has taken a very decidedly bipartisan tone to his job, right down to the fact that in a very unprecedented move, half his staff is Republican and the other half are Democrat. Political party affiliation was not a criteria for this job, and I think, again, he has set the tone very early that he intends to serve every resident, listen to every business person, so we all have a seat at the table with Assembly member Steve Fox.
Well, very good. Good morning or good afternoon by this time. I'm Norm Hickling, Field Deputy to Supervisor Antonovich, and also contestant number 6 today. I think I may come in 4th, but it's better than 6th last year. So, Supervisor Antonovich, he just again got sworn into his what could be his last 4-year term, because they do have term limits now at the Board of Supervisors. We'll see if anything changes on that, but it is, as it stands right now, his last term. Still very much focused on public safety. That has always been his priority, public safety for the communities, public safety for children in the foster care system. Supervisor continues to advocate against AB 109, which, as you all know, provided that early release for prisoners that were up in the state prison system and sent them to the sheriff's system. We have a lot of folks out in our communities right now that should still be locked up in the prison. It's an unfortunate thing that it happened. I was sold as a cost savings, but all it did was pass that cost burden from the state into the local communities. And you and I, as taxpayers, we're all paying for that, and we're seeing the crime rate increase. The mayors of our 2 cities up here, they're having to deal with it, and the city councils and the city managers. It's a tough situation. So that's a major topic of his. Economic development. The state as we all know, took away redevelopment and the enterprise zones here from Palmdale, which the supervisor was not in support of. He felt that those tools needed to be used in a proper manner. And yes, there were abuses, but then on the other hand, they were used in a manner that could provide a lot of jobs and be a catalyst for economic development. So the supervisor's working very closely with the Board of Trade, and he's also working with the Greater Antelope Valley Economic Alliance to bring economic development up here closer to home. And I know that the supervisor's made several international trips. He's been in contact with the folks from Palmdale, folks from Lancaster, and trying to bring new jobs up here, and he will continue that. And he's an ardent supporter of bringing new businesses, new people, and make them interested in the Antelope Valley, and he will continue. Now, this didn't shut off. I love technology. Jobs Defense Council was already mentioned. This is a major issue for the supervisor. He's allowed me to participate as the co-chair on that Jobs Defense Council, and the supervisor's been actively involved in asking for Congress to do the right thing and get a resolution to this so our local businesses are not continuing to be out there in a void, if you will, of not having a decision to be made. They cannot budget, they cannot hire, because they just don't know what's going to happen with their projects, and it's just not a good way to do business. Town and Country, we've got a general plan, Town and Country plan that affects the Antelope Valley up here. There's so many parts of it, we could spend an hour talking just on that plan alone and how important it is and how it needs to be coordinated with the cities and the unincorporated areas. A lot of it has to do with making sure that we don't have encroachment on Plant 42, which is a catalyst to our economic survival, and also Edwards Air Force Base. So these are big deals. And I think in closing, you see some new building going on. We have the multi-ambulatory care center over there on Avenue I. That's a $120 million plus new medical center. And then Dave and I, we just had a really good meeting yesterday, expediting and hopefully moving along the new animal care and control shelter that's going to be built in Palmdale. So that's a great investment. That's good for all those that love animals, and we all do, and want to take care of them. This is going to be a big day. So that's what I'll do.
All right, and that's the...
Remember, I'm contestant number 6. Vote for me.
And that is the part that lets you have an update on what their bosses are doing. And I mean, who knew that Sandy's half Republican? You know, I mean. All right, we're gonna start out with the summary of services that each district office staff, provides for the constituency, and we'll start with Vince.
Well, our district, we share the Antelope Valley with Congressman McKeon, so we work hand in hand. Our staffs work hand in hand together. So for those who are in the 55 or 60% of Lancaster that we have, and portions of Corso, you will be in our district, and we provide similar services. But if you have issues or challenges with the federal government agencies, whether it be Social Security, Medicare, the IRS, INS, what are departments there are? I mean, basically any federal department that's out there. If you're having challenges, obviously feel free to contact our office or contact Congressman McKeon's office. We have staffs that obviously have liaisons and contacts with each federal agency that we can hopefully help to provide you with some answers. We can't ensure you the perfect result, but we want to make sure that you aren't going through that process alone. And our officers are there every step of the way with you to try to get you the answers that you deserve. And we the federal bureaucracy is not the most customer service oriented entity in the world, and so if you need assistance, we're here to provide it. If you're going to Washington for tours, whether you want to take a White House tour or a tour of the Capitol, the National Archives, anything else that's out there, I mean, obviously we have those services as well. You want to get a United States flag that's flown atop the United States Capitol, we have those as well. So we have other programs that we run out of our office. We have a student achievement program. Education is very important to us, and so if you are involved in a local school that's in our district, we provide certificates of achievement for students who make the honor roll, who certainly display leadership and good citizenship. That's something that's very special to us. The Congressman travels to the schools and presents them personally, so that's something that is very unique, but certainly other offices do them as well. What else do we do? I guess if you have any other, and of course we have an open door policy, so if there are any ideas, legislative ideas, challenges that you see that we need to address, certainly let us know. Certainly AV Board of Trade, we work very well with one of the pieces of legislation that we introduced last year was to rename the Dryden Research Center after Neil Armstrong, and obviously rename the range after Hugh Dryden. We are going to make another run at that, but that was an idea that came out of this community. So, so we certainly appreciate your input if you have it.
All right, well, Vince didn't leave me a whole heck of a lot. We provide the same services as Congressman McCarthy, but he did leave a couple of things out. Actually, for those of you who don't know, Sue and Deb in our Palmdale office handle our services for immigration and everything that's just ran through. About 3 years ago, I got added to Buck's staff for a veteran outreach component, and we deal very regularly with VA, similar to how we do with other offices, but specifically on veteran disability claims. So if you ever have a veteran that you need to refer for any type of resources or assistance, feel free to have them give me a shout. Currently, we're accepting applications and interviewing for a VA-funded position for a veteran that will be in our office here in Palmdale. And we hope to have that staff person take on some of the roles that I've filled and hopefully expand our veteran outreach component. And one of their main responsibilities is going to be reaching out to our local small businesses and promote a veteran on-the-job training program where the VA funds up to 50% of the salary while the veteran is getting a certification or training in your business for up to 12 months. So be looking for that, and look forward to pushing that with all the business owners. And then Buck's favorite part of constituent services is his military academy program. This year we had about 80 applications. We were able to nominate about 30 to 35 students, and the announcements of those appointments for all the military service academies are going to be coming out about mid-April. So if you have any students or friends that might be interested in going through the military academies, refer them to either McCarthy's or our office.
I think that's where what district, that's depending on the district that you live. So if you're a high school senior and you live in our district, obviously you would approach our office for a nomination from Congressman McCarthy. If you're fortunate to live in Congressman McKeon's office, if you live in his district, you approach his office as well. And then obviously we both have internship programs as well. If you're a college, junior or sophomore, you're looking to kind of get some experience in working for a congressional office, we certainly have those opportunities as well.
Let me give you a little hand here. Something that isn't very well known, when I was still in the Assembly with Assemblyman Knight, now Senator Knight, some friends of mine ran into a problem at an airport. They were getting ready to do a flight, and they had a problem with their passport. And I called Lou Stultz, and Stu and Deb took care of it. They helped our friends, resolve the situation, and that's something you don't hear about often as well. So that's another thing the Congressman's office can help you with.
Well, I'm back. We have a couple of brochures out in the lobby there. We do a lot of great services for our constituents. This lists all the different things that we do. Medi-Cal issues, auto insurance, consumer complaints, unemployment insurance, Department of Motor Vehicles. Believe it or not, we have a couple of ladies up there that we work with that are fabulous. And we can get you an answer. It may not be the one you want, but we can get you an answer. So I will tell you that. But if you have any issues with any state agencies, we can help you with that. We have a lot of great liaisons that we work with, and we're able to get some answers. Sometimes it takes us a couple of days. A lot of times we can get it that same day. So we're happy to do that. So we have these brochures out there. It has all of the senators' information on it. You can email him directly. It has all of our offices listed. We also have one that says, "Welcome to California," and it has all the different services that are offered. If you want brochures or booklets or things, you can contact our office. These are both in English and Spanish, and they're out there in the lobby. So please pick those up, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call.
The 36th Assembly District is a massive district. Think of from the north, California City, Mojave, Rosemont, Lancaster, Palmdale, Acton, Agua Dulce, all the way down to Saugus. And it stretches 3 different counties, Kern, LA, and San Bernardino. Think of Wrightwood, Phelan, Pinion Hills out there. So it's a huge district, and the Assembly member has several field reps that he's assigned by geography. And then as to level of expertise. You should know that just like Lisa Moulton just mentioned, the types of calls that come into an Assembly member's office are varied, but obviously they have to do with state agencies and state departments. So right now I'm assuming because of the economy, Employment Development Department is an issue, is a call that we get all the time. People's claims aren't being processed fast enough or effectively, accurately. Other calls that we're getting have to do with people wanting to register their opinion on gun control issues, for example, the recent wildfire fee, tax, whatever you want to call it, that was implemented last year. And it's just an opportunity for residents of the 36th Assembly District to have some kind of direct access to their Assembly member. Our job as a field rep is to be the eyes and ears of our representative, because in my example, Assemblymember Steve Fox is up in Sacramento pretty much Sunday afternoon to Thursday afternoon. So those 3 other days that he's here in the district, he wants to maximize his time. And I can tell you that for the last 2 months, he's pretty much been on a listening tour, meeting with all facets of the community, whether you're business, education, aerospace, veterans affairs. He wants to make sure that your concerns are heard. So if we have not had a chance to do outreach with you so far, I hope that you will give me your business card, and we will set up a time for the Assembly member to sit down with you and listen to your concerns. You're always welcome to invite staff members to do the same. Put your request in writing, or just call us on the phone. We are in the old Steve Knight office on Avenue M14th at 12th Street West. I brought my business cards with me here. You should know that that's a temporary office. We have not found a permanent home, but hope to announce that address very soon. And we welcome whatever questions you have. The Assembly member has been very generous with his time and trying to accommodate as many of your requests that you can imagine. He is part of a freshman class of 38 new Assembly members, and he is getting so many requests left and right, but that's the kind of attention that we want, and that's the kind of service that we intend to deliver. So, thank you.
Well, I guess the question is, what does not the county get involved in? What's some of the things that you don't want the county to get involved in also? I mean, from airports to sewers to water to waste to schools to public safety to roads, you name it, we get involved in it. And so we get a lot of calls on a myriad of different subject matters, and experts none, but we know who to go contact and get you with that right agency. I think the most important thing, and you probably already knew a lot of that, but I think the most important thing that it's good for the community to know, we don't work in silos, even though we're each answering, and it looks individually like we only work on state issues or congressional issues. We're talking all the time. We send back and forth. We have a constituent that comes in and they ask a question, and it's really something that has to do with the VA. We're talking with the Congressman's office. If we have something that's belonging to the state or the city, we're talking with those offices. So we just don't let somebody and say, I'm sorry, that's a state issue or a city of Palmdale issue, we're going to hang up. We take care of it, and vice versa. The cities, each of these offices and their representatives take care of that too. So we're trading information all the time. It's not about politics, it's all about helping people. So I think that's the most important thing to remember today.
All right, how about a big hand for our panelists? We have about 10 minutes left for a question and answer period. So raise your hand if you have a question. I'll come over here to you. Mr. Loa?
I want to get a jump start on this. Going down to Los Angeles yesterday, listening to radio stations, not less than 6 commercials in a brief period of time. The esteemed governor of Texas pulling California businesses to the state of Texas. And this question is primarily directed to Lisa and to Sandy. We know that the majority that's controlling the legislature, their solution is increasing taxes, and of course they're closely allied with increased regulations. What is the senator going to do, and what is the assemblyman going to do to stop Texas, Arizona, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, Nevada from continuing to take California business? I guess we'll start with Lisa.
Well, he's not going to vote for taxes. He's not going to vote to raise those taxes. He has said that all along, that he is, and he's going to do everything he can to bring businesses and to keep businesses in California. Raising taxes, raising fees, whatever you want to call it, is not the way to keep businesses here in California. More regulations, that is not the way to keep businesses here in California. We need to back off on the regulations and back off on the taxes. And that's what he's going to do. And that's what he's been doing, and that's what he's going to continue to do.
And to add to that, Senator Knight is one of a few people that are part of a delegation that goes to other states and, meets with businesses who have left and, talks to them about why they left and what is it going to take for them to come back and stuff. So he's always very active in this particular issue. So, okay? Sandy?
Mr. Loa, I can tell you that one of the key committee assignments that Assemblyman Steve Fox has received is, as I mentioned, it's jobs, economic development, and the jobs economy. So I think he's going to be in a unique situation to make sure that he looks out for business interests and that there's a balanced approach to it. You should also know that last week when the governor delivered his State of the State address, he mentioned CEQA reauthorization and the changes that need to be made in that arena, and that's another thing that I think could help businesses. The assembly member has not taken a position formally on what you're specifically referring to, but again, I think he's in a unique position, not just through his committee assignment, but the fact that he is part of the majority party and he comes from the Antelope Valley and he understands business. I think he's going to be in a unique position to talk to his own party, to talk to his own members, to see how we can have a balanced approach so that doesn't happen, so we don't lose businesses to Texas or other states.
Okay, follow up.
Hey, I get a follow-up too if you...
The senator has taken a position against increased taxes, and I believe took a position to oppose increased taxes in this last round of increased taxes that we are now facing to allegedly balance the budget. Do you think that the Assemblyman will, in the future, oppose increases in taxes for the state of California?
Mr. Loa, I'm not in a position today to answer your question, but I will certainly ask the assembly member directly so that he gets an answer back to you and the business community.
I also think it's important to add that you guys have a voice too, and so if you guys have specific examples, regulations that you want eliminated or streamlined, or that that you guys gather together and to share that information with us. We certainly are all are cognizant of the business climate that is in California, the businesses that are leaving California. And the only way for our nation to turn around and is for California to turn around too. And so we all have the best.
Make sure you speak on the microphone when you do.
Sorry, I figure with spirit of consciousness, I figure.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, panel. I've got a question for the congressional representatives. Okay. So far, everyone's spoken about defense, and I'm not against defense. I like defense. I work in the defense industry. But what are we doing for other industries coming up here, such as the rail? We're talking about the high-speed rail system. We've got green energy. What are we doing about think tanks with green energy? What are we doing about training for the high-speed rail system? Because as most of the people that have been here in the Antelope Valley for quite a period of time, they've seen the system up here become cyclical with aerospace. And what are we, the thing is, we want to try to alleviate that particular problem. So what are we doing about those other industries coming in here?
Well, clearly with Congressman McKeon being the chairman of the Armed Services Committee, that sort of pushes him into the aerospace and defense industry. And that also tends to be an industry that is heavily regulated and motivated by the federal government. A number of your other industries may not be, and to the extent they are, we share everybody here's concerns with what's happening to California and especially this congressional district in terms of us losing businesses and losing industry. We have worked closely with and intend to keep working closely with your local officials, Mayor Ledford, Manager Childs, as well as Lancaster, in trying to do other things. I think someone made mention of us trying to make California the source for the UAW. That may be aerospace and defense related, but still that's an industry that we have some say and some input in. So that's one of the areas that, those are the areas that we address.
Certainly, we want to be champions in entrepreneurship, and if you look at our district, we obviously we are mainly energy, agriculture, and obviously aerospace. If you look at Mojave, for example, you have a burgeoning commercial space industry. We obviously fought very hard to keep the FAA from regulating them to the point of non-existence, and so we were able to put a moratorium on regulations to encourage investment in those areas. Obviously, with our military installations, we're very concerned about that. Obviously, we are not a major proponent of high-speed rail in California right at this time. Conceptually, we have nothing against it, but if you're looking for the California taxpayer and the federal taxpayer to subsidize the number of riders for a business plan that currently doesn't quite add up, that's something that we currently don't oppose, that we currently don't support. For example, the Central Valley, they're expecting 15 million riders in the Central Valley alone in their business plan. The total number of planes, trains, and automobiles in the Central Valley is probably 500,000. And so there's a gap there somewhere and obviously the high-speed rail plan starts in our area. So the numbers quite don't add up there. But we certainly want to encourage businesses, and part of it is reducing the burdens of regulation, litigation, and taxation on these areas. I mean, in terms of energy, for example, you mentioned green energy. Kern County and Inland Valley should be the capital of energy production, not only in California, but the United States of America. You're mentioning solar, wind, geothermal up in Ridgecrest, we have nuclear out on the Central Coast. So certainly we need a real energy policy that does that. Gas prices are hitting $4. I mean, that's a direct hit on every family budget. I mean, I think that's probably, if you calculate it, it's probably a 2 to 4% tax when energy prices spike. And that's something that, as a necessity, if you're driving your kids to school or you're driving them to soccer practice or anything else, I mean, that's a real impact on a budget. We need, a real domestic investment in energy production, whether it be oil, natural gas, geothermal wind. We have the philosophy. I think Congressman McKeon does, and we're all of the above. There is no one energy source that's going to get us, to the promised land. We need as much energy production as possible. And I think that you hit on that point is that for our business climate to improve, we obviously need to reduce energy costs as well as everything else. So those are the things that we're currently working on a long-term strategy, in whether it be energy, transportation costs, and all those things. You're right. Those are the critical things, the infrastructure that's necessary to attract businesses back to California.
All right, we have time for 2 final questions. Mr. Chimbola, you have one of them.
I don't want this to be an opportunity that I pass up today to pay high compliment to the great work that these people do. And I have testimony that will show that that's the case. If you happen to live to be 93, you'll never make it. There will be days when you wish you hadn't. Last week, for example, hugging Shawnee Barcelona, I actually stumbled while I was doing it. I'm ashamed of that. Anyway, when you go home this afternoon, the first thing you do, you pick up your telephone. I don't give a damn who you call. Call somebody and ask about long-term care insurance. I have it. Those of you who don't are stupid. Doesn't make any difference what your age is. You should have long-term care insurance, especially if you're as healthy as I am and you get to be to 93. But also dealing with state agencies is not the most pleasant experience that you can have. And so I have been paying for about 5 or 6, maybe 7 years, almost $500 a month for insurance that I can't get any damn reimbursement for it. And I'm running out of money. I picked up a lot of it along the way when I was younger, but I just about run out. I came so close to running out that I actually contacted a Republican. But a very nice and a very sweet and very capable Republican. And Lisa Moulton is responsible for the other day. I got me a little check. Not a hell of a lot, not enough for you and I to go out on a candlelight dinner. I want you to know I've been dreaming about that from the day that I met you. Anyway, be assured that the kind of work that they do, each of them have probably done it in the past. Those who haven't done it will eventually do it because that's what their job is. Lisa, I want to publicly thank you with all my heart for all the good work that you did, and I want to commend to all of you the work of these people. Pickling is going to thank the supervisor. Corrales is going to thank the assembly member. The hell we could get along without them, let me tell you. I've been wanting to say that for a long time. Because rest assured, these are the people that make the whole program work. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's only one direction vote. Our final question.
I don't know how to follow that. Wow. So my question is an early education question that can really be applied to anyone here at the table. First of all, Elliott commends the governor's proposal in his budget to not make any further cuts to early childhood education. However, this industry has sustained about 1 billion cuts over the past decade, and that's a loss of hundreds of thousands of jobs within the early child care industry. Or at both capitals, and even the supervisor's downtown office, do you hear any serious discussion about reinvesting in early childhood education? Because it really is a future, and our kids need to be ready for kindergarten so they can eventually really be ready for the workforce.
Who wants it?
Well, I haven't heard anything yet. Like I said, they've only been in about a month now, but I can find out what's going on, if there's any bills out there, what's going on, and I can get back to you. I'll get your card before I leave, but I haven't heard of anything, but that doesn't mean that it isn't out there. So I will get back to you and let you know, okay?
And she will.
I would add very quickly that we can thank the voters that passed Prop 30 back in November, because now we've sustained some of the further budget cuts, but that doesn't mean that there's new money available. I hear you, and I'm going to take that back to the assembly member. The other thing that you're reminding me about, oh God, I'm trying to blank, I'm sorry. It'll come to me later. Anyway, yes, I will let the assembly member know that you're interested in that. Obviously, with his committee assignments, and really he's only got a couple more weeks to introduce legislation, but education is going to be a part of that, so I'm hopeful that you'll stay in my ear and remind me about what issues are important to you.
Pepe has a question about fuel prices. What was it?
In the last week, our gas prices in 3 days' time went up almost 30 cents. Are any of our constituents doing anything to help us regarding keeping our gas prices down? I mean, they're always using the excuse of the refineries are down, or they're changing from summer to winter or winter to summer. And other states in this nation are less than us, and we're paying absorbent amounts of gas. And me, I don't make a lot of money, and it's getting harder and harder for me to fill my gas tank.
Well, and that's the challenge I think that Buck and Kevin are obviously very concerned about, is that we need to obviously increase our domestic supply of energy. And so it's supply and demand. I mean, and plus, I mean, I won't. I mean, I defer to the state folks here, but you know, California has a knack of making things really, really bad. I mean, the federal government obviously sets a certain standard, and for some reason, California tends to put even more and more standards on there. And we have a very boutique fuel that we require in California that obviously cannot be refined and imported into California. For example, if you look at, you know, we just can't bring in oil and import it in from Texas or Nevada. And plus, if you look at it, you know, Kern County produces 70% of the oil in California. And we need to obviously increase our refining capacity. We need to increase our infrastructure and pipelines to ship it around. And we also need to obviously figure out a way to allow, you know, different blends in California, so that of course, so we don't have to increase the cost of producing it here in the state. So, you know, there's a number of things that obviously need to be done, but first and foremost, we need to get domestic oil from domestic soil. And that's the important thing, at least from our standpoint.
And that was contestant number 1, ladies and gentlemen. How about a big hand for our panelists, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for doing this. Hold on a second. Before we finish this, I've got a couple of things here. Rosie, I want you to help me with this, okay. The first one is this is a token of our appreciation. Basically, the Antelope Valley Hispanic Chamber of Commerce proudly recognizes Morris Thomas. I'm sorry. Yeah, they did it backwards. But representing U.S. Congressman Howard P. Buck McKeon in appreciation of participating in our Big 5 panel of guest presentation. Congratulations. Thank you for doing this for us. And we have one for each of you. And like I said, it's just a small token of our appreciation.
I came in third.
So do me a favor, stand there. We're going to do a photo op if you want to come up here, friend, with your certificates, and I'm going to have somebody take a picture for our magazine. And then don't go away. We have the raffle coming up right now, and then we'll close it up. Okay, directors, come on up here.
One more, please.
Got it? One more. Here we go. Got it? All right.
I know.
Thank you, everybody. Once again, our panel station. Get your tickets ready. We're going to do the raffle right now. Rosita, who's going to help us with the raffle? Sylvia, what were you saying? Come over here and remind me, because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, Pepe's got the tickets over here. What color are they? They're orange tickets? Salmon. Okay. Okay, what's the first winner? And what are we raffling?
I'm going to walk out there with this money or somebody else buy it.
I'm going to give this plaque to the chamber.
You want to give a plaque to the chamber?
Yes.
That'll work.
They have supported our foster kids in the community. Every year, starting with Jeanette Sotero, they've always gave donations to the kids, and Rocio has done it last year, a couple of years ago. So we want to give you guys this plaque for your commitment, support, and dedication to the foster children in our community. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, you go ahead and run that. Okay, the first round.
The first raffle item is from Alma Ochoa, and these are super clean white.
And the number is 680.
680, who's got that?
Last three numbers, 680.
Yeah, last three are 680. We have a winner. All right.
And then there's this wonderful bottle of wine from ADT Eli Colvin. And the winning ticket number is
654.
654. Oh, Eli won his own bottle? Do you want to redraw? Okay, he wants a redraw.
Let's go another.
Okay. 731.
731.
731 for the bottle of wine.
That's, okay.
The next item, I'm celebrating how